for me. Hello, Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual. I am still in the midst of prepping some food. Well, I took a break. Me and Mally done ate some food and stuff already, so yeah. I had cooked my chicken gizzards after I got off of my last live or whatnot, and being that I don't have a blender, I have to cut them up by hand. So this is what a chicken gizzard look like, and my hands are clean. So I've been sitting here cutting them up, and my customer who wants to pick up the pan of dressing, she just texted me and asked if I could not bake the dressing. She wants to bake it herself in the oven, so therefore I just need to prep it up, even though I still got to bake the cornbread first. But then I can mix up everything for her and just put it in a pan so she can bake it when she comes to pick it up, and that'll be fine as well. But I am cutting up the gizzards to put inside of the dressing, and when I get done cutting all of these gizzards up, then I am going to show you guys how to make the dressing. The cornbread. But again, this is the flour. The meal that I got to use. Can you let me do this? This is the meal that I got, and this is the flour that I was talking about when I said you got to get the self-rising flour as well by Martha White. You don't have to use Martha White. You can use Great Value, Aunt Jemima. It really doesn't matter, but these are the ones that my grandma always used. So, excuse me, they're the ones that I like to use. And normally, like I said in my last video, I like to use the buttermilk cornbread mix, and that has like a green label. Where it's red at right here, it's green.
Red, green,
and I also already have prepped my onions and green peppers. As you can see, I've already prepped them to put inside the cornbread mix. So I'm going to get ready to bake all this. Actually, since she just called and said she doesn't really need me to bake the cornbread per se, I can mix the
what?
The stuff up. Oh. These are my noodles, which I have sitting and cooling in the refrigerator, so I can add the rest of the stuff when I'm done.
Rolling tea. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
So, let's see, which bowl? Oh, I can use this bowl. I was going to use a bigger bowl, but she's using a small pan of dressing anyway, so I can just use this size bowl. Let me get my spoon.
Oh, I like it real fast.
Alright, let's see if I can back this up some. Girl, who is you playing with? Back that up. Okay, move my hair out the way. So, when making cornbread, guys, you always have to use more corn meal, than flour. Okay? So, being that I only have to make a small pan for her, I grabbed extra ingredients. As you can see, this is a 10-pound bag, so that I can make a big, huge pan of cornbread. But then I can downsize, once the cornbread is broken up, then I can split it into how many sections I need. Like, one large pan of cornbread can make 2 small pans of dressing, is what I'm saying, because you have to add the other ingredients. But anyway, you get your bowl, you get your spoon. Now, I don't have measurements, okay? I eyeball this. You know how some people... Can I talk and you mind your business? You ready to get in the tub? Are you ready to get in the tub at this moment? Okay, well, shut up. Relax till I'm done. Do you know how to bake the cornbread? No. Okay. Anyway, I don't have ingredients. I don't have a recipe per se. I don't use measurements. I eyeball everything that I do. So, I got this spoon here. and I'm going to heap it. That's what my grandma used to call it. A heaping spoon of flour, meaning that it's not going to be even and flat across. It's going to look like a hill. For example, you see that? It's not even. So I don't know how much flour this is. But 1 spoon, 2 spoons. Okay? That's all I need. And then I'm going to come in with the cornmeal. This, I need a little bit more. I am going to use 3 heaping spoons of this. And again, this is way more than I need for a small pan of dressing. I am going to make a large pan of cornbread. And I'm only going to need half of the cornbread for a small pan of dressing. So that's 3 heaping spoons of cornmeal, 2 heaping spoons of flour. And again, make sure it's self-rising because I'm not adding no baking powder or none of that. Okay? Once I get all of my flour and meal into the bowl, I then go ahead and add the onions and green peppers that I chopped up, which was 2 green peppers, 2 onions. And I'm going to put those in there. Then I'm going to come through. Bless you, baby.
Thank me. You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Then I'm going to come through with the eggs. These are what size eggs? Extra large. So want to make sure there are no eggshells go in there. I'm going to put 3 eggs.
Mommy, we got eggs now for the oatmeal and the cookies. And we got cookies.
Right, but now we don't need to bake the oatmeal cookies, right?
Yeah.
So I got my 3 eggs in there, my flour, my cornmeal, my onions and green peppers. I'm going to put the eggs back in the refrigerator. I got my oxtails on the stove, but I'm not selling oxtails.
Those sound good. Very good.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know how much milk I'm going to pour in here either. I'm going to eyeball it until I get the perfect texture that I want. So I'm going to be mixing it up in between. I guess you would consider this showing people how to cook. I'm just showing people how I prep to make the dressing. I wish I had a ring light because it would be easier for me to do. But I got to kind of sit right here because I don't have one. So it's not like I can do this in the kitchen. But anywho, I'm going to come through with the spoon and mix. Uh-oh. My bad. See why I need a ring light? But I'm going to come through with the spoon and mix this up until I get it like maybe cake batter texture or pancake mix or something like that. I'm going to get it really smooth, no lumps, no bumps. Bless you. I'm glad you at that end of the table. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. The wrist. Fuck you, me. That is so funny to me. Y'all know I would mash some shit up. I had got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs as well because I was going to chop that in there for extra meat, but I don't need it. See, this is the consistency. Hold on, let me pick my phone up.
I need help.
Hey, y'all. But this is the consistency here that I like my cornbread mix to be, which it looks a little lumpy because it has chunks of green peppers and onions in the inside. And no, I do not cook the onions and green peppers. I put them inside of the cornbread, and the cornbread has to bake in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes. So the onions and the green peppers, they cook with the cornbread. I had seen somebody cook their onions and green peppers before they put it in the cornbread mix, and I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's just not how I do it. So this is ready to go in the oven. And while I'm doing this, I want you to be quiet. However, there's plenty of other rooms that you can go in at the moment. Or you could chill. This is the consistency that I like. So I am going to put this in a pan. Well, actually, I was waiting on my pans to get here in the Walmart delivery. They didn't come with the food, though. They had to be shipped separately for some reason. Maybe they didn't have any in stock. But being that she just called me and said that she doesn't want me to bake the dressing, I still have to bake the cornbread, so I can bake it in one of my pots. And then, in one of my regular, pots and stuff like that. And I'm not in a rush because she ain't got no specific time that she wants to pick it up anyway, so I could wait for Walmart to deliver my pans and then do it. Especially since all I gotta do is bake the cornbread. But anyway, I am going to bake this in an aluminum pan, the long ones. Get out. I'm not playing. You distracted me. You could come back about 5 minutes. I'm going to cook this in the long aluminum pans. I'm going to put a stick of butter in the pan. Then I'm going to put the pan in the oven and let the stick of butter melt. Once that's melted, then I'm going to pour this mixture into the oven and let this bake for about 30 to 45 minutes or until the cornbread is brown and you can stick a fork in it and you can pull the fork back up and there's no cornbread mix on the fork. It comes out clean. So I can put this to the side now. Once the cornbread is done cooking, I'm going to cut it up into squares or so and let it cool off because I'm going to have to mix it up. And I can't do that while the cornbread is hot. So I'm going to let it cool off for probably like 10 minutes or so after it comes out of the oven. And then I'm going to put in these chopped chicken gizzards, which you guys see me chopping by hand right now. Okay. This, first of all, I got this pot from my brother's house, and this is an old pot, and I love it. Like when I say some old pots cook the best, I really do mean that shit. Even though I bought me a pot set or whatever, I still like to use this one. This is the pot that I cooked the gizzards in, as you can see. Hold on, my bad. Let me grab some. This is the pot that I cooked the chicken gizzards in. This is a pot full of chicken broth now. And once I take the cornbread out of the oven, I'm going to put these chicken gizzards inside of the cornbread. And then I'm going to add in this chicken broth that I made on my own. So I cooked it with chicken. I seasoned it up very, very well so that it can taste really good. And then I'm going to just put it in a pan and put the aluminum foil on it and wait for her to pick it up. because she doesn't want me to bake it. So yes, that's what I'm going to do. Some people don't eat pork, some people do. For the people that do eat pork, I do have another ingredient that I be putting in my dressing, and it's like some sausages and things like that. But you know, it depends on how I feel, and I'm not going to put it in this dressing though. However, this dressing is about to be really, really good, and I know because I already tasted one of these chicken gizzards in the broth, and it tastes really good already. So yeah, I am going to do all of that. I don't use salt in the chicken broth or anything like that, because once everything comes together, I'm going to then season my cornbread mix and dressing and stuff. Well, usually I'll season it up, mix it up really good, and then pop it in the oven and cook it. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how I do that. Some people be wondering if I be cooking stuff for real, or if I be actually making my stuff, or do I pay other people to do it. I make anything I put my name on, I make that shit myself. I just started buying the fried rice from Sam's Club. Like, my friend had asked me to make him some fried rice the other day, but he didn't want me to take him to Sam's Club. And the grocery store or the meat market that we went to didn't have the stuff that I usually use to make fried rice, like the seasonings that I put it in and stuff like that, and the certain garlic butters that I use. I didn't have none of that, so I basically had to make him some white rice and just fry it a little and season it a little. But that's not how I normally would make my fried rice or whatever. But Sam's Club does have fried rice that you can buy, chicken fried rice, vegetable fried rice, and things like that, and it tastes really good. And I just bought that the last time I went to Sam's Club and tried it, or whatever, the last 2 times. And I tried it and I really like it, but it's still a technique to cooking it because it's frozen. But yeah, for people who be making hibachi and stuff, that's the shit they be using. However, I know how to make fried rice with regular white rice that has been cooked and refrigerated and things like that, and using the soy sauce and everything like that, cutting up the green onions, adding the egg, adding the seasonings, the garlic butter, and all of that type of stuff. I know how to do that. But I didn't do that the other day. I just fried some regular rice, and the shit was still good because I tasted it. So yes, but my sides though, I make from scratch. If it's dressing, yams, collard greens, or anything like that, I make them from scratch. However, I want to eat some collard greens today. I'm not selling any. I just wanted some, and Walmart didn't have any, so I just bought me some glory greens out the can. But I'm still cooking some turkey with them and adding all the seasonings that I will normally add to my regular collard greens. So yeah, I be cooking it from scratch by myself. This is what my mama and my grandma taught me how to do. Mainly my grandma. So this dressing, I cook it from scratch. From the bread on down. I don't even use no Jiffy Mix. And I'm not knocking the people who do. I'm just saying I don't. So, yes, I buy the yams. I peel them. I cut them. I cook them. Macaroni, I cook it. You know, all the sides, I be cooking that on my own. So, yes, I like to use certain seasonings, and I don't like telling people my seasoning because that's my stuff. That's my recipe. You go pick your own seasonings. You season your food any other time the way that you want to. Now, if I was to get like a channel where I was monetized or something like that, or I had like a members only membership or something, then I start telling people what I season stuff with, and I'll start showing that type of stuff or whatever. But I like all different types of seasonings. However, I could be basic. It's like 5 basic seasonings that I used. So, yeah. All right. I got the gizzards out. Chopped the gizzards up. This is my broth. Got the cornbread mixed up already. I don't got to put nothing else in it. So this will be done in a minute, actually. She don't have to wait too long to pick this up. And really, I was just waiting on my pans to get here for me to finish up the seafood pasta salad, because I'm done with it. I just want to mix it up together and then place it in a pan. So I was waiting on the pan to get here. I might just end up door dashing some. But in the meantime and in between time, cover these gizzards up. Got the seafood pasta salad. So my orders the 2 pans that I have to have ready, they're basically done. I just need about 45 minutes. So, yes. I'm kind of glad she said don't worry about baking it because, baby, I had to take a pit stop and take this wig off because it was starting to get a little bit hot. But since I wanted to break this down and show y'all how I make the cornbread and stuff, I had to go back and put the wig and the hat on and stuff like that. But, baby, it was starting to get a little hot up in here. But, again, I do have some oxtails cooking. So, yeah. I'm all set, I think. I just wanted to show you guys that. So again, the ingredients: self-rising cornmeal mix. You're going to need some milk. You can use buttermilk too. Any kind of milk you want to use. I don't know how it turns out if you have to use like almond milk or something like that, but I'm pretty sure it should still be good. However, I like to use cow's milk when it comes to baking this type of stuff. So these are the ingredients that I use. And the 3 eggs, of course, the onions and the green peppers. You spend... My bad, guys. My phone had died, so I needed to come into my room and put it on the charger. But I was done with the video anyway. So I'm going to get ready to bake the cornbread. And then maybe I'll get back on here and show you guys how I mix up the seafood pasta salad. Okay? So you guys have a great day, and I'll be back in a second. Am I going to get some hearts? No. Maybe Mark Zuck don't want to give me no hearts. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I need to set my phone up. There they go. There they go. Love you guys. I'll be back in a second.